Checking retractable tube clearance. The following set of instructions is done prior to filling the hopper in every installation. This is a check to ensure that the material delivery tube and the forks will rotate freely in the annular space and not touch either the outside of the form or the inside installation material or the grout of the furnace wall. Step 11. Once correct polarity is established, turn and hold retractable tube switch to the down position. Continue to hold until the limit arm on the bottom of the tube touches the material at the bottom of the furnace. Watch that the tubes do not get hung up. If the tubes hang up, tap the side with the rubber mallet to free them up. Do not use your hands because they can fall and/or pinch your fingers when loosened. When tubes are touching the floor, release the tube down switch. Tube will automatically raise half an inch or 13 millimeters and stop. Note, do not hold tube down switch after they have touched the floor. Doing so will unravel the spline and tangle up the braided lines carrying the tubes. If this occurs, ensure they are untangled and hold tubes up until braided line regains tension. Step 13. With tubes half an inch, 13 millimeters off the floor, adjust the tube to be centered between the form by turning hand wheel on the opposite side of the tubes in or out. Step 14. Press extractor start button. Green light will illuminate after 2 seconds. The wrist is designed to rotate only when the extractor motor is running. This is because the forks will drag in the material if the wrist rotates without them lifting. The rotation start button will not activate unless extractor start button has been pressed first. Do not insert fork rod or material yet. We are still testing the tube clearance. Step 15. Press feeder start and then rotation start button. Green light will illuminate after 2 seconds. The wrist will begin rotation around the form. Step 16. Allow the wrist to make one complete rotation, observing tube clearance between form and insulating material. If tube comes in contact with the insulating material or is rubbing on the form, stop the machine by pressing rotation stop button or emergency stop button. Either button will stop the machine. Note, if emergency stop is pressed, it must be pulled out before restarting the machine. Step 17. Once you have tested for clearance, verify that the rotation time is within OEM setting. Use a stopwatch to time one full rotation. The machine is factory set to complete one full rotation between 1 minute and 30 seconds and 1 minute and 45 seconds. This timing should not be altered without consultation with Gradmatic equipment. You will find the wrist setting on the sheet provided in the electrical panel. Note, if rotation speed is not within OEM specification, turn main power off and open the control panel. Turn rotation control counterclockwise to reduce the speed and clockwise to increase the speed. Once the speed is set, time one full rotation again. Caution, adjustment is very sensitive. Do not change more than plus or minus 5 increments on the scale. Step 18. Press Control off to deactivate electrical panel. Tube clearance check is now completed.